So you're thinking about diving into the deep end and running your own game of Dungeons and Dragons. You've got a game or two under your belt, so now you feel like you want to take a crack at it. Or perhaps your forever DM just needs a week off and you're the awesome friend that decided to volunteer. You have the ideas, you have the passion, and the thing that's holding you back is just thinking about all the rules you're gonna have to memorize. What if I told you that I can give you the essential tools to not just run your first game, but make it a blast for your players? Let's learn what it takes to be a great DM. Hey there, I'm Sir Bearsworth, guiding creators, shaping worlds, and forging heroes. And here's the big secret. Being a great DM does not require you to know every rule by heart. It's not about being a professional voice actor or a best-selling author. The secret is really just a change in mindset, plus a few practical rules that's going to turn you from rule keeper to facilitator of fun at the table. D&D is a story that you tell together, and it's your job to be the main storyteller and adventure guide. You're a fantasy Sherpa, if you will. It's all about creating fun, exciting, and challenging moments for your players. And today I'm going to give you the 5 key steps that take you from a nervous first-timer to a confident pro overnight. Like I said before, a mindset shift is going to be the biggest aspect of this and the biggest hurdle to get over at first. The main thing that holds so many future DMs back is the idea that they have to memorize all of the rules. Let's get this out of the way right now. You do not need to know them all, and you never will. I've played D&D for over a decade now, and I certainly do not have every single rule memorized. The player's handbook and the Dungeon Master's Guide can look intimidating, but you only really need to understand the core gameplay loop to craft a wonderful story. And that basic loop, the core of D&D, it comes down to 3 very simple steps. The DM describes the situation, the players say what they want to do, then you roll dice to see what happens. That's it. That's the game. The most important rule as a DM is what the community calls Rule 0. The DM has the final say. This, of course, isn't a license to be a tyrant. It just means you have the authority to make a call on the spot to keep the game rolling. If a weird situation pops up and you don't know the exact rule, just make the most logical and/or fun decision in the moment. And it is entirely okay to be upfront and transparent with your players. Just tell your players, hey, for now, we'll run it like this. I'll check the official rule once the game's over. Now, if it's a consequential decision, then maybe look up the rules real quick. We don't want anyone dying over a flubbed rule. This keeps the energy up and stops you from flipping through the books for 10 minutes or everyone frantically Googling on their phone. Fun is always more important than getting every single procedure right. But speaking of fun and getting things right, make sure to subscribe to the channel. I have more guides for new DMs as well as deep dives into several aspects of D&D as a whole. We're building a wonderful community here and I'd love for you to be a part of it, but let's get back to those other steps. Want to solve about half your DMing problems before the game even begins? Run a session 0. This is basically a pre-game meeting where you get to sit down with your players and lay out the foundation of the campaign. It's where you manage expectations, build characters together, and figure out the tone of the game. Is this going to be a high fantasy Lord of the Rings-esque epic? Or is it going to be a wild amalgamation of Disney characters and Final Fantasy characters and the power of friendship? This is also a perfect time to talk about basic table etiquette and expectations so everyone feels comfortable playing the game. Most importantly, you can use this time to weave your players' characters' backstories into the world itself. Ask them questions. Where are you from? What made you become an adventurer? What's a secret your character's hiding? When your players create characters together, it allows them the chance to build connections even before the game starts. This also gives you a great chance to take aspects of their backstory so you can develop cool plot hooks later into the campaign to make it feel truly theirs. Also, taking the time to get everyone on the same page with their character and truly understand the mechanics they'll be using is going to take a huge weight off of your shoulders. The fear of not being prepared enough is real. You might have this image in your head of DMs slaving over Google Documents over 40 hours a week, building the perfect world for their players. That is a myth. Not to say that they aren't out there, because I know there are. But I also recognize that you probably don't have an entire job's worth of time to devote to a game. Hell, you guys can barely agree on a time to meet in the first place. The real key is to figure out what your characters are probably going to be doing next session. Don't plan a whole continent's worth of adventures if they're just going down the road to the next village. And to make it even easier for yourself, your first time DMing, start with a pre-written adventure. A starter set is a perfect way to get your feet wet. You have all of the tools laid out before you, places, names, NPCs, stat blocks, all in one convenient package. My first time running a long-term campaign was for my friends during COVID. We all played Lost Mines of Phandelver, one of the classics from 5e. Eventually, after getting through the pre-written stuff, that's when it really branched out and gave me the time to know the mechanics, understand the players and their motivations, and build out a story specifically for them. Whether you're using a pre-made module or building it from scratch, try adopting the lazy DM method. At the end of each session, just ask your players straight up, "So, what do you think you guys will do next?" Their answer is going to be your prep guide. From there, just jot down a couple of bullet points for maybe 5 scenes that you think could play out during that session. For each one, you only need a short description so you can read or remind yourself of how the scene should play out, the name of any NPCs that would be within these scenes and their motivation within it, and any monsters that they may face and their corresponding stat block. Save yourself the time. It also helps to scribble down a list of random NPC names, because it's all fun and games until your players walk into a store that you just made up on the spot and you don't have a name for the shopkeep. At the end of the day, you don't need a script, just a basic outline. All right, it's game time. You've done your prep, everyone showed up roughly around the same time. Now what? Now you just run the loop. You describe the world, they act, and you decide what happens next. When describing the world, use the 5 senses. It's not just you're in a cave. It's you step into a damp, chilly cave. The air smells of old stone and something metallic like old blood. You hear water dripping from the stalactites, echoing in the darkness ahead, where you can just make out the flickering of a lit torch. This is where those bullet points come in real handy. Now it's time to cut the players loose and let them act. After you set the scene, the most powerful thing you can do is be quiet. What do you do? Let them talk to each other, argue about plans, and push the story forward. Your job isn't just to drag them through the story. It's to react to their awesome and sometimes chaotic choices. And now it's time to play referee. Whenever the player wants to do something and the outcome is uncertain, it is time to roll those dice. For combat, the sequence is simple. Everyone rolls initiative to see who goes first. On the player's turn, they can move, take an action, sometimes they'll have a bonus action as well. The goal here is drama, not total defeat. You have ultimate control at the end of the day to pull whatever levers you would like. If the party is struggling, you can come up with ways to get them out of the combat. If they're steamrolling the enemies, maybe reinforcements show up. But be careful not to undercut any important moments that may be going down. Anything outside of combat, like trying to scale a wall or pickpocket a guard, this is where you call for the skill check. You ask for the check, they roll their d20, add their character's bonuses to it, and you get to decide if they pass or fail. You determine the difficulty class, or DC. 5 is something that is super easy to do. 10 takes a little bit of skill. 15 is certainly a challenge. 20 is very tough. 25 is near impossible. You set the DC to the challenge that feels appropriate. At the end of the day, their 15 minutes of scheming, coming up with the perfect, flawless plan, will go out the window in a moment's notice. The players will always do something that you did not plan for. This is the moment where a lot of new DMs panic, but it is actually a wonderful opportunity to see where the magic takes you. Improvising is a skill. It's less about making things up off the top of your head and having a couple of things up your sleeve just in the off chance that something comes up. Think of yourself like a jazz musician. You know the chords and the melody. That there is your prep, but you are totally free to riff and solo within that structure. Your first tool is going to be that backup list of NPC names. When your players wander into that shop, give them a random name, a one-sentence motivation, and start talking as them. You don't need to do crazy, silly voices. You just need to know what they want. Give them a little quirk, make them a little bit more memorable. A blacksmith searching for a rare ore is going to be a lot more interesting than just random Joe Blacksmith. Your second tool is the yes and principle. When a player asks, "Is there a chandelier in this dining hall?" Instead of rummaging through your notes, say, "Yes and." Yes, and you see the rope holding it up is frayed and it is tied against the back wall of the room. You've just rewarded your players' creativity and provided them a fun and interesting tactical option in this scene. The third tool is you can change anything. They don't know what you have written down on your side. Hell, you may not have anything written down. Nothing is carved in stone. If your players are getting bored in the dungeon, it is entirely within your power to create a little shortcut that cuts through all of those extra rooms they were going to have to slog through and get to the really interesting part, the stuff you've been dying to show off. If they happen to be ignoring the main plot hook, perhaps the quest giver NPC finds them on the road or has been kidnapped. Be flexible. The story is there to serve fun, not the other way around. So, we have to get the right mindset. Fun is more important than the rules. 2. Run a session 0 so that expectations are set and connections can be made. 3. Prep smart, not hard. Pause. By focusing on the next session and maybe the next one after that. 4. Master the core loop. Describe, act, and roll. And 5. Learn to love improvisation. You can't have everything planned out, but you can just be a step ahead. You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to be a professional voice actor. Your players are not looking for a flawless performance. They just want to have a good time with their friends. That's you included. And you get to be the one to make that fun happen. At the end of the day, D&D is a game. It's about having fun. You've got the tools, you've got the passion. Let's rip that Band-Aid off. You're ready. Go roll some dice and tell some incredible stories. If this guide helped you out, do me a huge favor and hit that subscribe button. I'm going to be dropping plenty of more tips to level up your DMing. And drop a comment below. Tell me about that first adventure you're planning to run, or how your first session went. I love reading your guys' comments. So with that, I'm Sir Bearsworth, guiding creators, shaping worlds, and forging heroes. And I'll see you all at the table.